إليه مما سواهما وأن يحب المرء لا يحبه إلا لله وأن يكره أن يعود في الكفر كما يكره أن يقذف في النار. Anas ibn Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, narrated an Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam as saying, three qualities, if they are present in a person, he would see and he would find the sweetness of faith, حلاوة الإيمان. One is that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger are more beloved to him than anything else beyond that. And that when he loves somebody, he loves him only and purely for the sake of Allah. And number three is that he hates and dislikes to get back to al-kufr or disbelief, like he hates to be thrown into the fire. الإمام البيضاوي قال المراد بالحب هنا الحب العقلي. What kind of love? That when you find it, when you have it, you can taste the sweetness of faith. He said this is the love of the mental or intellectual love. Like المريض الذي يحب الدواء, even though it might be better. A sick person who likes to take medicine, even though medicine is not sweet, but he likes it and he takes it in time and he goes by the exact dose and he kind of, hopes that this is going to work for him, even though it doesn't taste good, but he will take it and he will be ready to pay money for it. This is not because it's so sweet, but because in his mind he knows this is good for him, and even though al-tab'a, or the person by his nature, he might not like it in the first place, but knowing that his goodness, his salah, his wholesome, his health is in that, he likes it because of that. I say, like work, majority of us, inshallah, they love their work, they like the work, but sometimes you don't want to wake up in the morning and go every day. Maybe one day you don't want to go. It's not 100% love when it comes to this. But because you know that you will get your paycheck at the end of the month, or you have to go, this is where you get your money, maybe sometimes we go even though sometimes we prefer not to go. فهذا يكون هو الالتزام العقلي, is that when you take religion this way, when you know in your heart that this is good for you. And he said, in order for you to find the sweetness of faith, it's exactly لماذا شبهه بالحلاوة? Why did he say it is like حلاوة الإيمان? Why did he say the sweetness of faith? Sweetness, he said it's the clearest form of tasting something. It's quick. If something is sweet, you taste it, it's quick. But when would you taste something is when you are sahih. السقيم, when the person is sick, even the sweetest thing might taste bitter, might taste murr. It's not sweet. Not because it's not sweet, but mainly because he has a problem. He is suffering from something in his mouth or in his body. So he said, in order for somebody to taste something for what it is, the machine or the device or the body that he is should be healthy in the first place, in order for you to taste things for what they are. Otherwise, when somebody is sick, subhanallah, you like the chicken tikka masala, I like it too. I learned to like it, right? You like mahshi, you like rice, you like manasif, what do you like in Iraq? Whatever you like in there. When you're sick, halim, nahari, Allahu Akbar, but when you're sick, when the person is sick, it doesn't taste the same, does it? Not because it's different, it's the same food, but because you are sick. There's something going on, there's something in the stomach, there's something. So same thing for a believer. When can a believer taste faith? Is when his heart is pure and wholesome. Otherwise, if your heart is not as healthy, you will pray, you will have faith, you will do actions, but you will not literally find them as sweet. It might not be like sick or totally healthy, but there are different levels in between. It depends how much your heart is pure and clean and healthy. So if your heart is safi, khalis, lillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will find anything to do with iman, with faith, being it prayer, being it something that's coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala somehow, you will find it tasty and you will find the halawa and the sweetness of that. وأن يحب, so if you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as number one in your heart, this is one. you will find the sweetness of faith. Allah is number one. Rasulullah is number one. Nothing is before that. And when you يحب المرء, and when you direct your love for the sake of Allah, you direct your love, you love somebody, you love something just for the sake of Allah. When you love Allah, Allah is number one. Rasulullah is number one in your heart, which means it's qalb safi, qalb salim. That's a wholesome heart. And also, when you get to that level, you will direct your love. Your love is precious. Subhanallah, many of us, we waste this power that Allah gave us. Somebody's heart is after whatever, is after some materialistic things, being so much attached to it. They waste their love on left and right on things, on material things in here, that they become totally attached to these material things, or people even. That takes him completely from Allah. No, a believer would be also somehow not totally rejecting life, not totally loving money or loving things, but Allah and Rasulullah ahabba, which means, what's ahabba? Af'al tafdeel in Arabic. It is better, it is the best, which means there is something that's mahboob as well. When you love 1, 2, 3 things, and then one of them is ahab, is the most beloved, that means you love number 2 also, and you love number 1, but there is one of them that's number 1. So when Allah is number 1, that means you still love your work, you love to make money, business, your wife, your spouse, this and that, fine. But that shouldn't be number 1. Number 1 is Allah Rasul ahabba ilayhi. Not only that you love them and you don't love anything else, no, but you love them, number 1. And direct your love for the sake of Allah. When you love for Allah. Even when you dislike because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when it's a pure love, يعني لو حب الإنسان أخلص في حبه ما تجد أبدا مثلا يوالي عدو حبيبه. If somebody is sincere in his love, a man loves a woman, he would not go and befriend or be a friend with somebody who is enemy of his wife or enemy of his mahbub. It wouldn't happen. Same thing, when you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you would not be in total love for someone that, doesn't love Allah or Allah doesn't love him. So number 1 is referring to Allah and Rasul being number 1, even though you might love others. Number 2, directing your love for, and يحب المرء لا يحبه إلا لله. When you love for the sake of Allah. Number 3 is that you hate anything that takes you back from Allah or away from Allah. يكره أن يعود في الكفر. You hate to go back in kufr or in disobedience or in anything that takes you away from Allah, like you hate to be thrown into the fire. Nobody likes to lose his life or burn in fire like that. We hate that. Everybody hates that, and everybody's, imagine fire is just touching you. You hate that. So you hate to go back to al-kufr and to al-ma'siyah and to anything that takes you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like you would dislike this. When you have those 3 characteristics, you will then find the sweetness of faith. So if we want to enjoy our salah and our siyam and our actions and our ibadat, let's first of all 3 of them come to the heart. Let's all go back to our heart and check what's in there, deep in our heart. If our heart becomes pure for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is when we will see life and feel life in a completely different way and manner. We will taste the 2 rak'ahs that we pray. We will taste, they will taste sweet, anything that you do for the sake of Allah. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يذيقنا وإياكم حلاوة الإيمان, makes us true believers and make our hearts purely dedicated for Him, so we can find the sweetness of faith. جزاكم الله خيرا.